What our customers didn't realize is how ready we were, and how we were able to shift so quickly, and it didn't impact their operations in the sense of IT being the blocker.
Hi, I'm Kevin Coleman, and I'm here with Bellingham Now with another segment of what's happening around town. With everything that's happened with COVID, there's been some big changes with IT and tech and how people are working from home and what that means. That means a lot of people are going now with extra security or maybe not secured enough information on their computers. So today I have Ryan Oord with NW Technology to talk about what's happening in the IT world. Welcome, Ryan.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about NW Technology and what it is you all do.
Yes, we are a managed service provider, or an MSP, located out of Ferndale. We provide IT services to organizations that either don't have an IT staff for full services, or we support organizations that may have one IT person or limited IT knowledge, or we support organizations that have a large IT staff but don't have expertise in a certain field.
That's a lot. That's a lot of stuff. So tell me, how has your business changed with COVID? Because now that people are working from home, needing extra security, not really knowing how to go about needing what they want or knowing what they want, how has that changed with your business during the pandemic?
It hasn't shifted much. What it has done is highlighted some of the things that we've done over the last 20 years to get people ready for this type of event. A lot of our services and a lot of our engineering and design go around mobile workforce. So we already have that in mind when we're designing and engineering a network. How do we get people to work remotely? How do we get people to be able to have multiple locations? And all those things fall into the same realm when it comes with COVID. It just changes a little bit in the sense that we're dealing with unknowns around internet providers, don't have enough bandwidth at home. They live out in the middle of the Tules and they can't get any internet, but yet they think they need to work at full speed. So we're working on solutions, and it has shifted our support focus as well a little bit, in the sense that we're used to supporting computers and workstations at an office, and now we're supporting maybe somebody's home computer a little more to get them to their office computer. So that shifted a little bit. The big shift that we had to make was change our hours of operation to accommodate our customers, because we did see a shift when people went home, that they weren't necessarily working 8 to 5 anymore, that we were working 2 to 9 p.m. or 2 to 11 p.m. or, they were really shifting of when they were working. So we had to adjust our help desk hours to accommodate that, and be able to work with that. So that was our big change.
Have you seen business increase from your side?
Yes, absolutely. We've actually seen an uptick in our new onboardings of new customers and just general support, and an uptick. Our present model, where we have a flat fee, flat rate support model, it really didn't impact our customers financially. They were already on a model that allowed them to utilize our resources without them costing more money. And we've seen more people wanting to adapt that model. And we've actually seen new onboarding of new customers that really like that. And it's made a real shift.
That's great. Now, with a lot of the larger organizations and businesses that you work with and moving people to home, has that been a big shift in teaching, I guess, employees how to be their own IT people, or work with you to be your own IT people?
No, actually, where the biggest shift has come in going home is reminding people and educating people that they don't necessarily have a lot of the same securities that they have in their office. So they have to be more aware. They have to be more vigilant of phishing attacks. The bad guys are taking advantage of this situation right now, and they have to be more vigilant than ever to not fall for it, because some of their home computers may not have the security that their office computer has. And so they, depending on the environment, they're remoting into a secure environment. So there is a block there that the bad person can't get into the company network, but it could impact their ability to use their computer to work.
Wow.
So reminding people and staying vigilant that, the phishing attempts are worse than ever right now. Mm-hmm. and you have to stay vigilant, and the bad guys are banking on the fact that you're not paying attention, and and that is our primary focus in our newsletters, in our literature, in our social media blasts that we're really pushing, is that people stay vigilant during this. Don't let your guard down, and protect yourself.
Yeah, I will say that I get emails from you guys, and you guys are hyper vigilant on a lot of things and making your consumers and your clients very aware of what's happening and what to be aware of. Whereas a lot of people don't know, and it is all about reading and reading between the lines and don't open attachments and those type of things. And I
Yep.
think that having that information to the consumer and to your clientele is just an added benefit for your service. So I appreciate that. So thank you for that.
And to collaborate, just yesterday, I had a customer that fell for a phishing attempt, and she called in and said, I didn't give my username and password away. And I went, no, you had to have. It's the only way this person could do this. And she goes, well, I did get an email that said I had a bad character in my OneDrive thing, and I logged in. I said, yep, and that's when you gave it away.
Mm-hmm.
It was so common to her and so natural, the process, that she didn't even realize she had done it until she stepped through it and went, oh, I didn't I? Yeah.
Are there protective measures that people could put in place for their home office?
If they're doing Office 365, is turning on two-factor authentication is a big one. So that way, if you do accidentally fall for a phishing attempt, that it takes another form of authentication other than your username and password to get into your account is a real big one. And we're pushing very hard on rolling out two-factor authentication on Office 365. And we're recommending that if you have any online apps at all, that you are looking at to see if they have two-factor authentication availability to you, and enabling it.
Yeah.
So all your bank accounts should by now, and if they don't, you should be turning it on. And if you have online applications such as Salesforce or any other online app, that you turn on two-factor authentication.
What have you learned about your business or the community during this time that you didn't ever think that would be noticed before?
I don't know if it's necessarily from our side. We were ready for this in the sense that, like I said earlier, where we were already designing engineering networks around a mobile workforce. This was a natural shift for us. There was a little bit of catch up, just migrating, some 2,000 users to home in 2.5, 3 weeks. Luckily, we cover a good part of the United States where it was staggered through. Not all communities went at the same time, so. Our Arizona customers were about a week and a half behind our Washington customers. Our Wyoming customers were probably another week behind that. So it gave us some ability to roll with it. But our customers didn't realize is how ready we were, and how we were able to shift so quickly, and it didn't impact their operations in the sense of IT being the blocker. It was more about, did the person have a computer at home, and did the person have internet at home? And if they didn't, what did that look like? It turned that conversation completely around, and made it much more easy for customers to go, okay, we can still do business, or we can still take phone calls. We shifted our phone system to take calls from home. It's not that big of a deal. And I think what will change the atmosphere, or the landscape in the future, is people will be more aware, is how do they make sure their network is agile enough to shift to something like this in the future, and can their business survive that? I think more people will be aware of that in the future than they probably ever were. I know some customers that never thought they would ever need to do that, and then all of a sudden they're calling and go, okay, what do we do, Ryan? And I go, no problem. This is what we're going to do.
Do you see the future of people working more remotely rather than being in offices?
No, I see them coming back to the office.
Yeah,
I think you'll see some will. Working from home is not for everybody. Not everybody can work from home. Mentally, it's a different game. It is. I know for being an owner of a company, I resist that to some degree as well, because I think there's a lot to do with collaboration. There's a lot to do with interactions in the office that stimulate learning, that stimulate ideas that you don't always get remotely. There are some jobs that can stay remote and be remote. There's some people that do like to work from home, and I think companies will be more open to that, but some people can't do that. They can't be in their spare bedroom and roll out of bed and walk 6 feet to their desk, and they just don't function and thrive that way. So no, I don't see it being more remote. than ever before. I see it start to shift back, and I think it'll be in waves, and I think it'll adjust, but I think a lot of people will go back.
So how do you best support your customers during this time?
Is understanding what they have for technology at home. It's been a real struggle to figure out some of the older technology that may be at home. I think a lot of people have reassessed what they have for technology at home. And some of that has to do with the iPad craze. With mobile devices have really diminished what people have for technology at home. We've streamlined it with iPads, with Surfaces and tablets, and that doesn't necessarily translate to what is happening now where they need to work on a computer at home. And a lot of people are going, hey, I don't have a computer at home anymore. So that's been a struggle for our help desk to transition and taking older equipment and recycling it, or working with our customers to go, hey, we have spare computers, we have that's a real common thing for us, is that we like to have 1 or 2 spare computers in their network that are backups, and that's helped us in that transition where they've had a couple employees that don't have a computer at home. That, hey, no, we got a spare, no problem, no big deal. Or we have a boneyard that we as well have been able to pick stuff out of and go, okay, here, let's put something together for you to get you going.
Cool. If you could leave people today with one thought or a message from this interview, what would that be?
If you depend on technology in your organization on a day-to-day basis, it is really important that you do have a good solid plan around your IT. That you have a partner in your corner or a professional in your corner that is looking out for your company's interest around IT. Because IT does drive a lot of businesses today. There are some that it doesn't. The rock quarry down the street probably doesn't depend on IT as much as Veritas does. There's a dramatic difference, but by and large, IT is an important part, and people really realize that, I think, and some didn't, and now they're going, oh wow, if we want to survive, if we have to do this again, what does it look like? Can we survive this? It's important that you have a plan and somebody in your corner or behind you that is thinking about that for you.
How can people find out more information about you and your organization?
Great question. Facebook, our website at www.nwtechnology.com. LinkedIn, you can find me on LinkedIn. You can find NW Technology on LinkedIn. And let's see, we are not on Twitter. Sorry.
That's okay.
only the mean people are on Twitter. So, so Facebook, LinkedIn are our big ones.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, Ryan, I appreciate what you do in our community. I appreciate NW Technology for everything they do, not only for businesses, but for local homeowners and people who are just working from home now. And I appreciate you just being in the forefront and taking helm and leadership during this time and helping people. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin, for doing this as well.
Absolutely. You have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Hey, we hope you enjoyed watching this episode of Bellingham Now. To see all of our episodes, go to BellinghamTonightShow.com. New content is added daily, so make sure you subscribe for updates. Thanks for watching.